Let's give it a little bit of share. I'll check on Facebook if you check YouTube.
Okay.
This thing kind of slow sometimes. All right, boom. Yeah, we on. Check. Okay, yeah, we good. On Facebook.
See, on YouTube.
Check. All right, cool.
I think this one is slow as hell.
Mm-hmm.
You check YouTube already?
I didn't check YouTube yet. I'm on Facebook.
Yeah, you probably have a better service on it.
Yeah, we good. Going on. Cool. Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahshai Barak. Slakia. Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatah to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shemalatah Hashem Yahushai to the sisters. As you know, today is the Sabbath service. We are the ISUPK, Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge, and we are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. And today we are going to be covering the plagues, and we're also going to be covering separation. And the reason why we're going over this is to give you a little bit history of the Most High and what He has done to other nations that have afflicted us, and also why you, as a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, an Israelite in the Bible, the Lord's chosen people, should not choose to side with the nation that we are in, which is America today. So I'm gonna give everybody, a few moments to check in, and we'll get started with class. Got it. You on YouTube?
I don't know, man.
Let me
It's
check.
super slow right now.
Let me see.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, yeah, I see this. Yeah, we do.
All right, we got it.
Cool. Give everybody just a few more moments, and then we'll get started with the prayers. We'll get on class.
Damn prayers.
Oh, I got extra.
Oh. Wow. They do it?
Yep. All right, brothers, remember to have your heads uncovered. Sisters, remember to have your heads covered. And with that, Mijam, just me and the brother up here. Sorry, it's me. Sorry.
La Yasharala.
Sorry, it's me. All right, Amadim upon Yahakodam, which means to rise and face the east. We're going to get started with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayat. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakutka. Taba'ah. Batzaka. Hayat. Aisha. Baratza. Kawa. Hayat. Bashamayim. Tananawa. Lakam. Call. Yawam. Wasalaknawa. Kabawaknawa. Hasalaknawa. Kabawaknawa. Wala'ah. Tabiyanawa. Panasaiwan. Nabal. Abashaynawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya, Laka, Kamalakwa, Walala, Watapara, Awalamium, Aman. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us. From evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Babakashah. Latanyanawa. Hakak. Larpa'ah. Call. Makal. Madawat. Hakak. Latahar. Ha. Matzarayim. Hakak. Lahakwayim. Hamathiam. Hakak. Isle. Rakawat. Hatama. Lagarasham. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. The water. Amen. Hakak, the power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Please. Give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. Salakia. I lost my spot. Sorry. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushai. Wa Ma'aka'ala. Wa Alahayim. Matazab Ya'ab. Alawap Yahana. Ha'alawapiam. Hasaronyam. Hakwatazayoyam. Hakayayoyam. Wa Ha'akwathim. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. The water. Amen. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yohana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayunya, Ahariam, Mayan, Jaba'ah, Isaiah, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Baratza, Yatan, Lamawat, Ragolka, Yanawam, Shemarka, Hana, Ayawam, Wala'ah, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Tazalka, Ayad, Yamka, Yawam, Hashamash, La'ah, Akaka, Wa'ala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Aknapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Haza'aka, Ma'ida, Wa'ai, Awalam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade. Upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee. From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, all, Damiyah, Lakah, all, Dakarash, all, Dashakwat, all, Kaya, Hana, Yebika, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Al, Amakai, Ya'ayamwa, Sawada, Waita, Yatazawat, Al, Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Yakawa, Wanakakidam, Magoya, Wala'ah, Yazakar, Shum, Yasharala, Ada, Kaya, Tazawa, Rabba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Aliyah, Adawam, Wa, Yashamai, Alayam, Our Abba, Wahagariam, Gabal, Wamuwan, Wamalak, Halashaf, Amyashabia, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Gabunya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Lahum, Kamunyan, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabim, Banakol, Hayashwan, Nashawada, Salakia, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Zaman, La'ah, Dama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yabmawat, Kairab, Wakaza Abba, Wakazabat, Wakatazol, Manai, Kol, Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Salakia, Nayarashah, Nanawa, Af, Nawaf, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Agogala, Kwash, Lapanya, Rakawa, Salakia, Rawaka, Ka'ash, Tabaira, Wa, Kalahat, Hariam, Kan, Daradama, Basa'iraka, Wapaka, the Bahalam, Mala'ah, Anyahum, Kuala Waya, Kwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya, Ayai, Waya, Karwa, Abadwa, Waya, Daiwa, Kaya, Atta, Shamka, Yahweh, Labaka, Alawam, I'll call Hiratazah. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
And hold not thy peace.
And be not still. O God. For lo. Thine enemies make atonement. And they that hate thee. Have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted. Against thy hidden ones. They have said. Come. Let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb. And like Zaid. Yea. All their princes as Zabah. And as Almunah. Who said, Let us take to ourselves. The houses of God in possession. Oh my God. Make them like a wheel. As a stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth a wood. And as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them. With thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Lord. Let them be confounded. And troubled. Forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou. Whose name alone.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
Oh, man.
All right, let's clap it up for the Most High. All right, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be going over the plagues the Most High has cast onto other nations, and we're also going to be going over separation. Now, just to give a brief summary, actually, we're going to be going over the book of Exodus, chapter 7, verse 14. And as you know, we're going to be going over the first 7 verses in the Hebrew. And after that, we'll go over it in the English and give a breakdown to give you just a little bit of a, how can I say, a prelude to the class. The reason why we're going over this is because, as you can probably tell, there's been a lot of events that have been going on in the world right now. COVID-19. I mean, I know we always talk about that, but that's just one of the many plagues and destructions that are going to be cast by the Most High onto not just this nation, but other nations, and why it is important for you, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, to first and foremost know who you are, know that you are the Lord's people, and why you should separate yourself from this world.
Right.
So we're going to be going over the book of Exodus, chapter 7, verse 14.
All right. The book of Exodus, chapter 7 and verse 14 in the Hebrew. Daya mara yahada daha ala yama ala yam sha ba bara. So like it ba like it. Nabara laba para I ha ma'aka lasha lacha I'm Lara alaya para ha ba pak ra ana hana ha ya taza hama yam ha dana taza bata laka ra tada I laya shapata haya ara daha mataha ashara ya na hapara lana kash daka ka baya rada daha marata Allah Yada Ya da Yaha Daha Allah Alahaya Ha'ai Bayam Shalakhan Kanaya Allah Yada Yara La Mara Shala Ka'ataya Amaya Daya Barana ya Bama Rabar Daha Naha La'a ya Shamaita Ira Yabaha Baha Myra Yaha Daha Baza Hata Tara I Baya Aba Anaya Yaha Daha Hanaha Ana Baya Mabaha Bama Taha Ashara Rabbi Raya Ila ya Hamayam Ashar Baya Ara Dana Apakada Bada Laram Daha Ragaha Asha Raya Baya Ara Tama Data Daba Asha Haya Ara Dana La Ada Ma'ira Yum Lasha Tadaya Salaki Lasha Da Mayam Mazaya Shalasha Da Lasha Yum Dama Ata Shabaha Daba Naya Mara Raya Makalaya Dama Dashaya Alaha Masha Pachata, ala daya, lata lara thumb, ra. So like it daya katha. I'm a rum. Ata yada ba Roth da la shaha data la ra lada ata I ya aha raza mashaha dasha naya kayaya I'm a rum. Dasha la yum dama ata shana ha daba naya yataza hara kara ka dana paga daza baraya daba naya Isa the Allah Maya sha'ala da'a la taza paza dasa ta raya daya kaka aha raza ata ya Allah yasha bai bata ya I bata ya I maya na raba aha data aha raza ata ya la ya shabayai. I'm about to hit 23 in like 2 seconds.
Oh, you past 21?
Oh, we're going to 21?
No, I'm saying you did.
We're going up to 21, right?
Up to 21.
Okay. I got like one more word and I'm at 23. So like it. Dasa raya.
Okay. All right. We're going to be going over the book of Exodus, chapter 7, verse 14 in the English. And the Lord said unto Moses, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refuseth to let the people go. Now, for those of y'all who don't know already, Egypt, they had us in bondage at this time. We were slaves in the land of Egypt. Okay. And this is talking about Pharaoh. Pharaoh didn't want to let us go. Now, Moses, on the other hand, Moses was a brother. Okay. Verse 15. Get thee unto Pharaoh in the morning, Lo, he goeth out unto the water, and thou shalt stand by the river's brink, against he come. And the rod which was turned to a serpent shalt thou take in thine hand. These are instructions that the Lord is giving Moses right now. Verse 16. And thou shalt say unto him, the Lord God of the Hebrews, just so we're clear of who we're talking about right now, hath sent me unto thee, saying, let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness, and behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear. Verse 17, thus saith the Lord, in this thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood. Now, okay, let's kind of paint a picture with that real quick. The Lord, you put it away, slot here. The Lord is angry at this point, okay? And actually, you know what? Before I even get to that real quick, I want to emphasize what the Most High has done for our people. The Lord, like we're the Lord's children, okay? The Lord don't want anybody else having us because he knows what's going to happen. Like we covered a couple classes ago, you know, what happens when we listen to heathens and whatnot. You know, we decide to be disobedient unto the Most High, and we end up destroying ourselves. In a sense, we pollute ourselves. So the Most High, let's just put it like this. The Most High is a jealous God. He's like the jealous God. He don't want nobody else having his children other than him because he knows it's going to happen to us. So the Most High is not playing right now. You know, Pharaoh, you got to understand, you know, this at this time, this was a wealthy, how can I say it? Powerful Egyptian, right? And you got to think like, you know, someone of that status in their life, they think very highly of themselves. Right. You know, like, oh, you know, I'm Pharaoh. You know, can't nobody tell me nothing. What I say goes, and that's that. But the Most High is like, no. We not about to play none of that right now. Okay, you're gonna let my people go. And because Pharaoh's heart was hardened, he didn't want to let the people go. Okay, us, just so we're clear on who the people are. All okay, right. This is, if I could real quick, in verse 16, it says, the Lord God of the Hebrews, us, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Most High is telling them, you know, you better, well, he's telling Moses to tell Pharaoh to let my people go. Of course, Pharaoh didn't listen because he's very prideful. And, you know, he's Pharaoh. Who are you to tell, like, who are you to tell me to let these people go? No. So what did the Most High do? You got to imagine this. Turn, Slakia. Let's go over verse 17 one more time real quick. Thus saith the Lord, in this thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood. So you got to think, man, like all that drinking water, the rivers, the ponds, the lakes, you know, at this time, just imagine just blood. Just think of that. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, right? Like what? Like water turning into blood? Like, man, that's impossible. Ain't nothing impossible for the Most High. Man. Okay, let's just go over that real quick. Slaggy, before we continue, got anything not to say?
Oh yeah. So this is my thing. Like Pharaoh, pretty much like what you were saying, like is completely accurate. At that time period, Pharaoh was being a Pharaoh was looked at as like being a god in a physical form. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they would hold themselves as if they were gods. You know what I mean? Hence why they would bury themselves with all their treasures and, you know what I mean? And so much like, you know what I mean? Try to make it as elegant as possible going to the afterlife or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? They would think to themselves that they were gods. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This was more so, this was to, how can I say? This was to save the Israelites, but it was also to break an ego. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The Lord was showing who the real God was. You know what I'm saying? He rose Egypt up to be this great nation. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean, just to break them down, to show them exactly who he is. You know what I'm saying? So when he was doing these plagues, he was actually showing out. You know what I mean? He was showing out a little bit. And this is the thing too. People got to understand, like, the Most High, it could only just been one plague. He could have wiped them out with just one plague. We got 10 because the Lord was breaking them down. And this is why this class is important, because the Lord wasn't just attacking their lives. He was attacking their economic system. You know what I'm saying? How they thrive on being the most wealthiest nation at that time period. You know what I'm saying? He attacked them. He attacked their money first. You know what I'm saying? Their natural resources, their water, their food, their cattle. You know what I'm saying? Like, he attacked the things that they were getting their money off of. He could have just killed them, but that wasn't the point. He humbled them first. You know what I mean? He humbled them first and broke them down. This was the Most High's, and this is why it's so important, because that's exactly what you're seeing today.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's exactly what you see today as far as the nation of America. You know what I mean? He's humbling them first. You know what I mean? America was so structured not too long ago, about a year and a half ago. It was so structured. It was so in order. It was so high on their ego that nothing could ever break this place. Nothing could break this place. So what is the Most High doing? Starting off with their economic system first. You know what I'm saying? Breaking down their dollar. Their dollar has no value. You know what I mean? It's slowly but surely going to no value. Then he's going to start breaking down other things, like how we're about to get into. I don't want to give it up, but you know what I mean?
Right. No, I understand.
We're going to get into the other things, and this is what the Most High does when he's getting his people out of captivity. This is why this is so important. You have to realize the signs of times right now, that the Lord is working for us right now. You know what I'm saying? We're involving ourselves in all this madness and all this stupidity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we just got done celebrating 4th of July, and what happened? What happened? You know what I mean? Drive-by shootings like crazy. People dying like crazy. And these are not just regular drive-by shootings. This is not just how we regular do it. These are crowds of people, women, men, and children being shot up because of a hood beef or whatever it is. You know what I mean? We're the Lord is upset with us for following the ways of the heathen.
Right. And
people are dying in a drastic form. I just seen yesterday some dude got killed on his IG live, and it was hard to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
It was hard to watch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that just happened out there in Hawthorne. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? The Lord is trying to get us out of this mindset of he's showing examples of why we shouldn't follow certain things.
Right.
But we consistently keep going into it. We consistently keep finding a route to appease our oppressors. You know what I mean? Like, it's about time that we start recognizing what the time is. This is the time that Pharaoh had to see going down in this time period in Egypt. You know what I mean? America's seeing that same thing. The Lord is not just going to just wipe them off of this planet. He's going to humble them first. And that's what's happening to this nation. You know what I mean? He's humbling them. They're getting humbled. He's breaking down their economy into dust, and then he's going to destroy them. Mm-hmm. So we have to recognize these signs, and that's why it's important that we go through what happened in Egypt at that time period, because you can see it happen to this day. So, like,
no, you everything you said is heavy. We're going to get a little bit more into this. So we're going to let's go Exodus chapter 7, verse 18. So this is right after, the Lord, all the rivers, ponds, ocean, whatever, big bodies of water. It's all blood right now. Now let's dive in a little deeper into it. Verse 18, and the fish that is in the river shall die. Of course, because the fish not going to survive in a big body of blood. Man. Okay. But now, just like how you said, like, the Lord is very strategic. Okay. He's not just going to just wipe them out. No, he's going to, like you said, he's going to break you down. break your spirit. Okay, this is what he's doing to just Pharaoh in Egypt alone. Okay, and the rivers shall stink. You gotta imagine, just imagine, y'all, you smell like a dead carcass, like a butcher,
right?
Right. Something like that. Think of that decaying smell,
and that's horrible too.
And just imagine a river of that. Okay, man. A lake. And the Egyptians shall loathe to drink of the water of the river. Of course. I mean, it's a big body of blood. Ain't nobody trying to drink that. I hope not anyway. Verse 19. And the Lord spake unto Moses, say unto Aaron, take thy rod and stretch out thine hand upon the waters of Egypt, upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water, that they may become blood. You gotta imagine everything. Blood,
not just the river.
Just imagine like an Egyptian woman going somewhere and I don't know, fetching a bucket of water or something, and it's just blood, just right there. Just imagine that, okay? And that that they may become blood, and that that there may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone.
Man. So
you got to think for a second, it wasn't just the water, in the rivers and stuff. Think of somebody taking a drink of water from a cup.
Right.
Blood.
Kegs, everything. Just
like that. You in the midst of drinking and just blood. That's the Most High right there.
Right.
And I know some people gonna watch and be like, man, y'all crazy. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. This is the Most High God we're talking about right now. Okay. You don't even try to wrap your head around how powerful the Most High is. This is like you said earlier, which you brought out a good point. The Most High, he flexing at this point.
Exactly.
He just kind of, let me show you what I'm really about. Let me give you a taste.
Mm-hmm.
You might be Pharaoh, but not me, of course, but Most High at the time, I'm the Most High. I'm the Ancient of Days. You know, you ain't nothing compared to me. I told you to get my people up out of there, so I could tell you to let my people go, but he ain't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bet. We'll see how this goes. Verse 20. And Moses and Aaron did so as the Lord commanded, and he lifted up the rod and smote the rivers that were in the smote the waters that were in the river in the sight of Pharaoh and in the sight of his servants. So you gotta imagine how Pharaoh's seeing this too. So imagine what's going on in his mind right now. Wait a minute. What's going on right now? Okay. It's
if I may too, he was probably astonished, but it also probably just angered him. You think definitely. You better than me? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You think you the real God? Okay, let me show you what I'm about.
Man,
you know what I mean?
My goodness.
He was that's. I'm just saying it because I know that's how America would be.
Esau today. Esau, just to not to get too. No, it's kind of on topic, but Esau is the most prideful one of them all. You can't tell him nothing. You disrespect the Edomite, and he gonna show his true colors like that. Because they're just so egotistical and prideful and drunk off of their own power now. Because how you brought up earlier, America is the superpower of the planet right now. Yeah, right. You got China and Russia and Japan, but as far as military might and power, no one's really messing with America right now.
Right.
Okay. Esau been kind of sitting on his high horse for a hot minute, but you see what's happening now. The Lord is slowly but surely breaking them down, with COVID. But with COVID, a lot of businesses went out of business. They lost millions and millions of dollars. And
right.
if there's one thing, Esau don't like you playing with his money.
Man.
That. If there's anything he loves more in this world, is his money. He needs that wealth. He needs that power. But now his pocket's hurting now.
Right.
And this COVID ain't go nowhere. It just came out with a new strand.
Man.
Apparently the vaccine that they have now, it only covers certain strands of COVID. So, but why these new strands keep coming out? Shouldn't it be done now? Shouldn't we have, a cure at this point? It's the Most High working, man.
Exactly.
Okay. just to paint a picture for you. Okay. Where we at? Salakia. Verse 20. We'll start at the top. And Moses and Aaron did so as the Lord commanded, and he lifted up the rod and smote the waters that were in the river in the sight of Pharaoh and in the sight of his servants. And all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. Verse 21. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank, and the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river. And there was blood throughout all the land of Egypt. Okay. So kind of what we already went over, like Pharaoh, the Egyptians, the servants, everybody, they're seeing all this happen. And you got to imagine, like kind of like how you said, like Pharaoh's pride, like, he's so like in his mind, he is the most powerful thing on the planet right now. And to see something that could defy him was just like, what? Like, wait. Who's this Lord God of the Hebrews you talking about? Wait,
Hebrews.
The Hebrews.
The ghetto?
Like, what?
That ghetto over there?
You talking about slack? You talking about the niggas? Like, what you talking? Man, nah, I'm Pharaoh. What you talking about? I'm Pharaoh. This is Egypt. I rule all this. Right. But you see the Lord, Lord like a surgeon, man, just breaking them down. Okay, this is just the first plague, if I'm not correct.
The first one. And it seemed like that was the worst one, shoot.
But it gets
worse.
Yeah, it gets worse. So now, if I could, let's go to Exodus 8 and 5.
I got this one.
Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 8 and verse 5. And the Lord spake unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch forth thine hand with thy rod over the streams, over the rivers, and over the ponds, and cause frogs to come up upon the land of Egypt. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments and brought up frogs upon the land of Egypt. So frogs, frogs, like just frogs, the slimy frogs, like you got to understand there was an abundance of them. It wasn't just, a couple of frogs just flapping around. Like there was an overwhelming, like roaches, Oh. Like it was just an overwhelming amount of frogs. Like, and I honestly, I don't want to think, but it seems as if the Lord is allowing the magicians to kind of like match up with them just so he can keep Pharaoh at a prideful state. You know what I'm saying? So the magicians had no power at all, unless but it seems as if the Most High was allowing them to do certain things to make it seem as if it wasn't as great, but it was just enough to keep Pharaoh prideful, keep him in that, we can do it too. Right. But I can do it too. And he just keeps on just making it worse until it gets to a point where they can't repeat this one. You know what I'm saying? So
you're right. Like that's why I kind of brought like the Lord is Salakia. I'm laughing because like just to show you just a little bit of what the Lord is capable of,
right.
And just to touch on something real quick, why the Lord is doing this to help us. Am I wrong? Like the Lord was like he's helping us at this point. He's just showing just a little bit of his power just to show you this is what I can do for you.
Right.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do to your enemies.
Right.
If they defy me, if they don't let you up out of that captivity, bet all that. I got them. Don't you worry about it. I got it. It just, if I could real quick, not to get too off topic, because I want to get into the other plagues too.
Go ahead.
It just shows what the Most High is willing to do for us if we just listen to him, man. Like, just obey the Most High and see what the Lord can do for you. We always just want to be like disobedient children, always wanting to do what we wanted to do, always wanting to be like the heathen. You know, you know, as you can see, there's kind of like a theme with the classes we're having right now, how they all kind of tie together. But this is to show you, like, can't nobody help you more than the Most High,
man.
But at the same time, nobody can destroy you more than the Most High also,
man.
Just to kind of get that in your brain real quick, okay? Now, kind of like what you brought up earlier, like, you know, with the frogs, I mean, that's like, to the Lord, that's like child's play,
man.
Like, you know, like, hey, you know, here's like millions of frogs, and
frogs in
there, like it don't sound like bad because it's like frogs ain't gonna hurt you, but you got to think like it's like a what's the word? Infestation,
right?
Like a roach ain't really gonna hurt you, but imagine like millions of roaches like crawling around. You're gonna be like, what in the hell? Like, you know,
you might as well just give me a heart attack.
You know, like I'm just thinking about it now. Like they flying at you and stuff. Like
it's hard enough battling one roach. The battle was real already with one roach, but millions.
But like just like millions of frogs, kind of like what you brought up earlier, like the magicians, you know, working for Pharaoh. They're kind of, you know, it seems like they're kind of matching up with, you know, what the Most High is doing, but it ain't over yet. You know, the Most High just, you know, like a delicate surgeon, just letting everything play out. Put a little hand here, a little hand there, right? But let's get into the next play.
Let's go.
Exodus 8:16. Let's see. Okay, you want to read it? Or you want me to read it?
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
The book of Exodus, chapter 8 and verse 16. And the Lord said unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt.
Goodness.
And they did so. For Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod and smote, and the dust of the earth, and it became smote. Oh, yeah, I said it right. And smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beast, and all the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Egypt. Sign me out already,
man. If I could, real quick, I just want to just kind of continue a little bit on that. You stopped at what, verse 17? So I'll go verse 18. I go 18 to 19. Verse 18. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beasts. Then the magician said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of God. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them.
Oh, I'm glad you got that one.
Oh, and as the Lord had said, so
they tapped out on round 3.
Man, and just, oh my goodness, I'm just thinking lice, man.
Lice, yeah.
Tiny little microscopic insects all in your, you get lice in your hair, you might as well just, you ain't getting that out, you know. And you gotta think there's lice everywhere. Everybody got it. The beasts got it. You gotta think the cattle, the farm animals, they got it, you know. And the magicians, they go on to Pharaoh hey, this God of the Hebrews, he not playing, man. We can't do that.
No, we don't do that.
You know, you might want to listen to him. And even in the sight of that, Pharaoh was no.
It made him even more mad.
Yeah, his heart hardened even more because his pride was hurt. Just like your oppressor today, your presidents, your government, whatever you want to call it, whenever things don't seem to go their way or something defies them, it's this rage that builds up. How dare you defy me? Right. This is the Most High. And even his magicians are recognizing it hey, no, he got it. I don't want nothing to do with that. But Pharaoh no, I'm Pharaoh, okay? This is Egypt. This my land, okay? To hell with what some, I don't even feel comfortable saying that out loud. I'm just gonna leave that one alone, but you gotta understand the mindset that Pharaoh, who was a heathen, by the way, an Egyptian, just to touch on something real quick. Egyptians and black people are not the same.
All right.
You know, let's just clear that up right now. We already covered that. Egyptians, you know, they're African. Okay,
exactly.
Hamites, all that. You know, we already covered that. You know, in our heathen class. If you haven't seen it already, go ahead. But
this is an African that thought they were gods. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, like.
So, if I may, real quick too, like, how can you not see what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, just exactly the way that Pharaoh was in that day is the same way that America is to this day.
Right.
America feels like they are gods. They try to do everything that the magicians do. They've been trying to contradict the weather. They've been trying to figure out how they can make their own weather machines and make it rain. And, you know what I mean? They've been trying to create life, you know what I'm saying, by cloning and all that stuff like that. Like, they've been doing all these things trying to, I can't even say be original. They're trying to mimic God. They're trying to show that they can be just as great and they can reach up to the heavens and be just as powerful as him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we've been living in this whole time. Like, they feel as if they are the gods of this earth. You know what I mean? And they've been trying to, like, how was it Nimrod when he shot the bow and arrow into the sky? Like, trying to, like, taunt the Most High. Like,
oh my goodness.
They do these things today. You know what I'm saying? They taunt the Most High. Like, yeah, this is my ish. It's my ish. I run this. I'm powerful enough that I'm above you. Like, look at your people. You know what I mean? Look at your people. Look how we got your people. Man. I run this. I run your people. I run this world. I run all this. So this is the same type of mentality that we see today is how it was back in the days of Pharaoh. This is why if Pharaoh gets broken down just a smidget, because we just talking about frogs and lights. This ain't nothing to the Most High. Just, you know what I mean, waving them off real quick, just showing them something real quick. He ain't even got to the real part yet.
Right.
Where people lies about to start being on the line.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Ain't nobody died from nothing yet. You know what I'm saying?
That's child's play.
Yeah, you just in a real uncomfortable state. But pretty soon it's about time to start knocking y'all off. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? We ain't gonna get to that yet. I'm just gonna keep showing you exactly what I'm capable of. So now we only in round 3, and the magicians could not mimic what the Most High was doing. And then not just that, they acknowledged that this is a God. You know what I mean? This is a God off of just lights.
Just imagine how like hurt Pharaoh.
Yeah, like
heard that. like even my servants, they like
he probably beheaded him.
He like, I'm your God. Like, no. Like, oh my, you know what? Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Exodus chapter 9, verse 1.
The book of Exodus chapter 9 and verse 1. Then the Lord said unto Moses, go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. Now, Salaki, if I just a quick pause real quick, the acknowledgement, the Lord God of the Hebrews, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to understand that we have a power that is with us. You know what I'm saying? That is with us. And all we have to do is acknowledge them and serve them.
You know, Salakia, I apologize to the class right now. I skipped one.
Oh, we skipped one?
Salakia.
Which one?
Exodus. Before we get into this one, Salakia. Exodus 8 and 20. Salakia, that's my fault.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
8 and 20. Okay, I see it. Salakia, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that's my fault. I just want to make sure we go in order.
All right, let's bring it back real quick. Luckily, we stopped at that. You know what I mean? But the book of Exodus, chapter 8 and verse 20. And the Lord said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water, and say unto him, thus saith the Lord, let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground wherein they are. And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end thou mayest know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth.
Man, look, Lord flexing again, like kind of like what we said earlier. Like, we just made like a comparison. I'm thinking like roaches and stuff. Like, you got one fly in the house, you already mad. You don't even want it there.
Right.
But now, just imagine a swarm of flies all in your crib, and you can't get away from it. Like, it's you gotta think, like, it's to the point where they're not just around you, they're on you. Okay, you're trying to breathe, and there's flies trying to go in your nostrils, in your mouth, your ears. Like, but again, kind of what you brought up earlier, and we're gonna get into the next one. I don't want to take too much time on this one, but just to kind of give that mindset of like the Lord he's not even killing nobody.
Right.
He's just making you feel uncomfortable. If I could, let's go back to Exodus 9 and 1.
If I may, though.
Go ahead.
Can I just read two more?
No, by all means.
It gets a little bit deeper.
By all means, go ahead. Go ahead. By all means.
It gets a little bit deeper because you realize, like, the last plague, we've seen acknowledgement.
Right.
Now, getting into the title on this plague, which is the next plague, we're about to start seeing separation. So, you know what I mean? I don't want to pass by that real quick.
Like, no, go ahead.
But verse 22, verse 23, and I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be. And the Lord did so, and there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh, and into his servants' houses, and into all the land of Egypt. The land was corrupted by reasons of the swarm of flies. And this is the point I wanted to get to. And Pharaoh called for Moses and for Aaron and said, go ye, sacrifice to your God in the land.
Hold up. So like, I'm glad you brought that up too. Go ahead. What was you about to say?
No, because I'm just saying, like, okay, well, if we can go to the last part that I just read, you can see Pharaoh's already on the break of submission. You know what I mean? He's already getting to the break of submission. You know what I mean? The Lord already he showed that there's separation between them and us. You know what I'm saying? More so because we're in the curses at this time period, it seems like we're kind of getting the lower end of the stick. You know what I mean? And we're not getting so much favoritism. Because at that time period, we wanted to serve the Lord. We were so oppressed that we were going hands and feet trying to, you know what I mean, crying to the Lord for the Lord to rescue us out of that hell.
Right.
Right now, we're kind of stuck into the mentality of this is how it's supposed to be. So we don't really dwell on the Lord like we should. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it at that time period, the Lord created separation between us and them. So you got to understand, like, probably at that point of where that city dwelled, the flies just swarmed in this beautiful land. The flies were swarming in this beautiful land, and our land was just clear and you know what I mean? Nothing, like absolutely nothing's going on, and all you can probably just hear the swarms of
oh my goodness, like billions.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh man,
it got so bad to the point where even Pharaoh wanted to humble himself. You know what I'm saying? Like
Pharaoh.
Oh, Pharaoh. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Wanted to humble himself, like, go do some sacrifice to your Lord and show. And you know what I mean? Now Pharaoh's acknowledging who God is. You know what I'm saying? But so
you good. Like, you brought up a good point. Like, you could see like the mental breakdown and the spiritual breakdown that the Most High, he's like doing to Pharaoh in Egypt. Like, before, it was just his magicians that were recognizing the Most High.
Right.
But now Pharaoh, you can see like his mindset slowly becoming more subservient, and he's giving recognition, because before he wouldn't even acknowledge the Most High.
Right.
Now he's acknowledging him. And now he's going to Moses, like, hey man, can you tell your God to stop, please?
Tell him to calm down.
You know, just chill out. Chill out, man.
Yeah,
right?
ain't all that big.
But you know, you see how it gets worse and worse and worse. Okay.
So this is a economic, mental. Now it's about to start getting physical.
Right. So let's see.
Now we about to start getting physical.
Well, I just want to make sure we don't skip anything. Shall sacrifice the abominations before. Okay. Yeah, we can into Pharaoh. There was something I wanted to get before. I will. Actually, no. Let's just continue reading that part before we get to chapter 9. Because the Pharaoh. Let me see.
Yeah, I seen it.
He does something right here. I want everybody to see. So we'll start at verse 26.
Verse 26. And Moses said, "It is not meet so to do, for we shall sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians to the Lord our God. Lo, shall we sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians before their eyes, and will they not stone us? We will go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Lord our God, as he shall command us." And Pharaoh said, "I will let you go, that ye may sacrifice to the Lord your God in the wilderness. Only ye shall not go very far away. Entreat for me." And Moses said, "Behold, I go out for 3, and I will entreat the Lord that the swarms of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people tomorrow. But let not Pharaoh deal deceitfully anymore in not letting the people go to sacrifice to the Lord." And Moses went out from Pharaoh and entreated the Lord, and the Lord did according to the word of Moses, and he removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people. There remained not one. And Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time also, neither would he let the people go.
He still didn't want to let them go.
Man.
Even like it gets worse. We're gonna go more into it, but just to show you that pride that heathen nations have when they feel like they're in power, when they want to, kind of what you brought up earlier, they want to play God, but they're not. Like how the oppressor today tries to play God. For example, okay, we've touched on this a few times, like, the homosexuality and things like that. But you got to understand now, it's so bad that there's transgenders, like they're modifying a man's body to look like a woman and then call that a woman, or vice versa. They're trying to tell you that you can't be born a male.
Right.
Or if you're, oh my goodness, it was one heathen that tried to argue with me one day. She tried to tell me and say that she knew that her daughter was a lesbian when she was in the womb.
Oh, my goodness.
And I looked at her, I had to look at her, and I'm just thinking to myself, and I'm like, how in the world is your daughter a lesbian and her body isn't fully formed yet? The brain isn't even fully formed yet. Like, it's a fetus. Okay. And then let's say the child is born. You mean to tell me that baby is conscious enough to know as an infant that it is going to be sexually attracted to women? It's a baby. Like, the baby, like, the teeth ain't grow. The skull isn't even fully formed around the brain yet, because you know how infants have like that soft spot.
Right.
Teeth ain't even fully grown. They can't even comprehend words. All they know how to do is cry and poop themselves. That's it. And you mean to tell me that you knew that you knew that it was a lesbian inside of your body?
Wickedness.
But it gets worse, Then she tries to argue and say that, well, how do you know the baby is going to be straight? How do you know that the baby is going to be a heterosexual? And I said, well, If your mommy and daddy didn't get busy, you wouldn't be here. She got mad. I'm going to just leave it at that. Why? Because that's how the Most High wanted it. Man and woman. There's a reason why it was made that way, because it works. The way that the Most High God, the Lord of Hebrews, made it, it works. Just to touch on something, Salakia, I don't want to take up too much time so we can get to the rest of the plagues.
Salakia, if I may too, like, you know what I mean? It's funny how just a little bit of humbleness could change a dysfunctional mind. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
All this whole big old wave of transgenders and, you know what I mean, homosexuality and all that stuff like that. Let the Most High keep working and let them know that it's from the Most High. You're going to see a lot of people getting out of that lifestyle. They're not really representing that lifestyle. They just want dysfunction. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like they're not really, they ain't willing to die for it. You know what I'm saying? They're not willing they're not really to suffer for it. You know what I'm saying? It's all fun and games right now because there's no consequences to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no I ain't gonna go to that, but if they were to see what the Lord is capable of doing, you're gonna see a lot of you're gonna see this. These rooms ain't gonna be empty. You're gonna see these chairs filled up. This house is gonna be packed out. You know what I mean? Because people need that little spanking to get out of that dysfunction. You know what I'm saying? It's all fun and games right now. Everybody think it's the norm, and the people at power, they acknowledge this, so they want to do what the people at power do because they got power. You know what I mean? They got power, so I'm gonna do what they do because I want to be like them. I want to have some power too,
right?
Or I want to follow the person who has power until the Most High shows you where the real power is at. Then you know what I mean? These rooms won't be looking so empty. You know what I mean? You're gonna see we're gonna have to set up a line like how they got at the downtown clubs. You know what I'm saying? Just for people to get in and be able to hear this truth. You know what I'm saying? But Salagi.
Nah, you too wild. Let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 9, verse 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 9 and verse 1. Then the Lord said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, Thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go and withhold them still, behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain, and the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall none, so like it. There shall nothing die of all that is in the children of Israel.
Children of who?
Of Israel.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Kind of what you was talking about earlier, the separation, right? So you see what the Most High is doing to Pharaoh's people, or I should say the beasts that dwell there within. But then it says, and there shall nothing die of all that is of Slakia. Nothing die of all that is the children's of Israel. So we were untouched at this point. I wonder why. Maybe it's because, this is the Lord of the Hebrews, right? Who the Hebrews? That's us. Your so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians today.
That's right. Okay?
So, Slakia, go ahead.
You keep going on this one.
I don't want. I just wanted to touch on that. I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you good. And the Lord appointed a set, and the Lord appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow the Lord shall do this thing in the land. And the Lord did that thing on the morrow. And all the cattle of Egypt died, but of the cattle of the children of Israel died not one.
Damn.
And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of the Israelites dead. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. My word.
Still being stubborn.
And if I may too, the Lord took not just their food, but their transportation also. You know what I mean? Yeah. The horses, the donkeys, you know what I mean, the camels. Like now you walking on bare feet, hungry all day. You know what I'm saying? It is a lot of Egyptians had to go vegan at that time period.
And was such a beautiful nation, right? Like, you know, beautiful. Egypt was thriving. Right. You gotta imagine, like, they were pampered and, you know, they were living lavishly. And now all of a sudden, all that was taken away. Okay, well, how can you take that with today's society? You know, we still on COVID. It's 2021. Right. You know, when COVID first came around, nobody really took it seriously. It's like, you know, it's like the flu, whatever. You know, it'll go away. It's still here. There are still people catching COVID. There are people who are still dying of COVID. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it's not letting up. They're still, like, remember, like, some states were trying to open up their businesses because they were losing money. And guess what happened? More people caught COVID. Mm-hmm. They tried to open up beaches. Guess what? More people caught COVID. So they had to close them down. Because guess what? The oppressor don't give a damn about you. Right. He wants his money. He wants his wealth. Just like how Pharaoh wanted his wealth and his power. But what did the Most High do? Like I said, just like a surgeon slowly just kept cutting off one thing after another. And it just kept hurting his pride more and more and more. That's what's happening with America today. It's the same thing. Slaki, you got something?
Slaki, if I may. Like, what you just said was so heavy. Like, look at it today. Like, the oppressor has opened everything back up. They want you to feel like, hey, we got this under control. And look what's going on. Wasn't there just like a mass shooting out at Magic Mountain last night? You know what I'm saying? Like, people are going insane right now. You still have the what do you call them? The left and the right still fighting, still going at it. Right. The war has not ended between them. You know what I'm saying? We got our people out here going crazy and stuff over these holidays and over all this nonsense and stuff like that. And then, you know what I'm saying, as it went back then, it's going to happen today. The Lord affected, if I can get into like how Officer Thabuan was saying in his breakdown on Practical Knowledge episode of the plagues, like this cattle thing, this wasn't just something that was short. Like this was affecting their money. This was affecting how glorious they were as a nation. You know what I'm saying? Like that cattle, this is like, it wasn't like, okay, they had their gold and their silver and their trinkets and stuff like that. They probably were just barely lasting off of that. But the cattle, when that hit, that definitely took their value of $1 down a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because now you not only do you have nothing to sell, but you got to keep buying just to keep feeding your people. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out of other nations just to be able to even feed who you got in there. And then not just that, Pharaoh needs to consistently have this reputation that he is the God. He is under control. He has this under control. So they're probably just flooding as much money out of their pockets as possible just to keep some type of security to their people. Like, yeah, we got this. We under control. The same way that Esau's handling his business right now. He sees his nation acting as crazy as possible. People just mass shooting. It was a little 12-year-old white boy with a gun shooting at the cops. You know what I mean? Everybody is losing their freaking minds right now. You know what I mean? People that are sitting in the stands of athletic games are attacking the players. Like everybody's violently losing their mind. You know what I mean? And it's because they felt like, okay, let's just open it up. Even though Corona is still out there, you know what I mean? This new strand just dropped. We have to make it seem as if we got some type of control. Just open it up, let the people have what they want. But they didn't expect this to happen. Now all this violence, now all this craziness is happening, you know what I mean? And then now you got Biden on camera with his glasses acting like everything just all sweet, just like he just got it all smooth and control. Like, you know what I mean? Now let's just see how he was when them cameras turned off. But he's just like, oh yeah, well, you know, like trying to be as smooth as possible. He got a damn, you know what I mean? Let's see how it is when them cameras turn off though. They are panicking at this moment.
Slaggy, if I could, you said something earlier that caught my attention, you know, how the Most High, you know, it didn't even get physical yet. Right. You know, no one was really getting physically hurt at this time yet. But if I could, let's get into the next one.
Well, nobody died but the cattle.
Yeah, I mean, the cattle,
I know them lice was real physical.
Sadly, the cattle had to pay a price, but
flies bite too, sure.
Yeah, but it was more like uncomfortable.
Right.
There was no real death, or physical pain that the Egyptians had to endure yet.
Right, we getting there though.
But if I could, let's get to Exodus chapter 9, verse 8.
Okay. The book of Exodus chapter 9 and verse 8. And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, Take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh. And it shall come to pass, and it shall become small dust in all the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon men and upon beasts throughout all the land of Egypt. And they took ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses sprinkled it up toward heaven. And it became a boil breaking forth with blains upon men and upon beasts. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boil was upon the magicians and upon all the Egyptians. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had spoken unto Moses.
Slag, I just want to just show something real quick. You see all this stuff that's happening to Pharaoh's people, and he's still like, you got to understand that to a certain extent, if I could, heathens don't give a damn about each other if it means that they got to sacrifice something that they want, because Pharaoh, like I said, you got to imagine Pharaoh, he's the most, in his eyes, the most powerful man on the planet right now. But now the Most High steps out, want to flex real quick just to show you who really in control. And despite now Pharaoh's people, all of the Egyptians, his magicians, the beasts that dwell within, have boils on them.
Right.
Like, have you seen a boil? Like, I've never had one, thank the Lord, but it like the pain that they endure, like, you got to imagine, like, you can't move properly. Imagine walking on your bare feet, because remember, the Lord just cut off their transportation and all their wealth, right?
Right.
So now they got to walk, but wait, they got boils. Wait, so now you got to walk to where you got to go with the boils all up on your body, like you're walking, and then imagine it's like under your armpits. Right. When you lay down, it's uncomfortable. They're in physical agony at this point.
Right. And
despite all this and all the other things that the Most High, Salakia, has shown onto the Egyptians and Pharaoh still don't want to listen because he's just that prideful. He don't give a damn. In his head, no, I'm Pharaoh. You can't. No, I don't care if this is the Lord God of the Hebrews. I'm Pharaoh. I don't care that my people are suffering, because in today, yes, our people are suffering too, but there's Edomites who are dying of COVID. Right. These are Esau's people, right?
Thousands.
But guess what? It's hurting their pockets.
Right.
Esau gotta get his money. Mm-hmm. So you know what? If I gotta off a couple of my people, to hang on to these millions, so be it.
Right. Get back to work.
Get back to work.
So like, if I may too, like, like the last plague, it doesn't, Pharaoh was just upset on his own.
Right.
On this plague right here, the Lord had to harden his heart. Man. Like, don't give up on me just yet. Keep that energy. Keep that energy. Yeah. Don't quit on me yet. We got some more to go. I ain't done with you yet. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord had to harden his heart, because who knows? Maybe Pharaoh really wanted to just give up at that time period. You know what I mean?
Still.
But I like when you was getting into about the boils and everything, like, I remember I used Brute deodorant one time. Brute deodorant. Oh my gosh, man. I had something that was under there. Felt like
I could just because I had like Slakia, like I had what was it? When I was younger, I had chicken pox.
Right.
And I felt crazy. Like, you know, I had to take like the calamine lotion bath and all that stuff. Like, I'm just imagine.
You can remember that.
Like, I can remember it. Like, I'm thinking of it now. But think of like the Egyptians, and they got boils,
right,
all over their body, and it says upon all the Egyptians. So you gotta think, men, the women, the children. I'm pretty sure maybe some of those Egyptian women were pregnant. They had boils. The old, they had boils. The babies, they had boils. The cattle.
The cattle that was left.
I mean, yeah, after, you know, Most High done off the few of them. But just to, again, man, ain't nobody more strategic than the Most High. But if I could, let's read 12 to 14. Exodus chapter 9, verse 12.
Okay. The book of Exodus chapter 9 and verse 12. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had spoken unto Moses. And the Lord said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord thy God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence. And thou shalt be cut off from the earth. And in very deed for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in is it thee or
it's thee, yeah,
okay, in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. As yet exaltest thou thyself against my people, that thou wilt not let them go. Behold, tomorrow about this time I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail, such as hath not been in Egypt since the foundation thereof, even until now.
Sloggy, if I could real quick. Okay, hail. We all seen hail before, right? Like big chunks of ice falling from the sky. Okay, this isn't a myth. We've seen this before. Okay, so you got to think, at this time, we didn't have cars. And like, you've seen what it does to a car, right? Like to a windshield, you know, a big chunk of ice slamming into your vehicle.
Right.
Well, at this time, we didn't have that. And this is after the boils and, you know, the population decreasing of the cattle and the oxen and the donkey, you know, the transportation that the Egyptians had. You see how it just kind of builds up. So it's like, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, the Most High is like, now let me show you something real quick. Okay. So now there's hail falling from the sky while you have boils and you don't have any proper transportation and your food source has been slightly cut off. I don't even want to think of what it feels like to have boils on my body and get smashed with a piece of ice. But that's what was happening to the Egyptians at this point.
Right.
And all because of what? Because Pharaoh did not want to let the Hebrews go. Time and time again. Moses is like, Moses, you know, he the middleman at this point, you know, him and Aaron, you know, and they're showing Pharaoh what's happening right now. But he's so stubborn and prideful and egotistical that he don't give a damn. Now the Lord's like, okay, well, you know what? Here you go. Let's see how you deal with this. If the plagues before you weren't how can I say it, weren't detrimental enough. But if I could real quick, just to go over Slack, yeah.
Are we going to the next part?
Yeah.
All right, so that was hail with fire. And we're going to go on to the next one, which is in Exodus 10 and verse 12. Okay. And it says, and the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, that they may come up upon the land of Egypt and eat every herb of the land, even all that the hail had left. And Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and the Lord brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts, and the locusts went up over all the land of Egypt and rested in all the coast of Egypt. Shalom, what's going on, man? The coast of Egypt. Very, very grievous were they. Before them that there were no such locusts as they, neither after them shall be such. For they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was darkened, and they did eat every herb of the land, and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left, and there remained not any green thing in the trees, or in the herbs of the field, through all the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron in haste, and he said, I have sinned against the Lord your God and against you. Now therefore forgive, I pray thee, my sin only this once, and entreat the Lord your God that he may take away from me this death only.
So where you at?
Verse 18.
10 or
and 10 and 18.
Oh, 10 and okay.
And he went out from Pharaoh and entreated the Lord. So the Lord sent out locusts. Okay, so they already struggled on their shortage of meat already. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So other than meat, what do you have? Vegetation, right? The Lord sent out locusts to send the last bit of, you know what I mean? Like it like, you got to think, like at that time period, that discomfort was probably so great, and now you're just starving now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like he sent out these locusts, enough locusts to the point where they blocked the sun. You know what I mean? There was a shade of darkness because of how many locusts there was.
Was that to kill the herbs too, in the vegetation?
That was the whole point.
Also?
That wasn't also. That's pretty much what the whole point was. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like he sent the locusts to eat all of their vegetation, mm-hmm. which is what they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is after the other plagues, right?
Right. This is like, after all the shortage of meat and all that.
Shortage of meat,
water,
the boils, the flies,
water.
Was it the frogs? The rivers turning to blood. Like it just kept getting worse. Like kind of like what we were talking about before. Like the Most High could have just wiped them all out right there, mm-hmm. if he really wanted to, but he wanted the Egyptians and Pharaoh to suffer for what they were doing to us, his people. You know what I mean? And kind of going more on that, as we talked about, like with today, you see what's going on. Like it hasn't gotten any better.
Right.
Like we have all these different vaccinations of COVID, and people are still dying. Okay, they're still dying. Right. There's still businesses that are going out of business, losing money. Okay. There are people that are not doing too well right now, and it hasn't gotten any better. Like they were projecting to have like a cure by like the end of last year. Well, guess what? It's July in 2021, and we still we're still in COVID. Right. Like you still got to walk around with a mask. Okay, there's like very select few places where they're a little bit more lenient, but COVID ain't going nowhere.
No,
unless the Most High wants it to.
Right.
You know, but we don't know. You know, that's up to the Lord of Hebrews, man, like the Ancient of Days. Okay, but why is this happening? I believe, what was it? Slide if I could real quick. Just to kind of touch on something real quick. Romans 15:4. Things of aforetime were written for our learning. Oh, Slack, my fault. You didn't have one. Slack. We're going through Exodus chapter 10, verse, is that 19?
Yeah, I think it was 19.
Book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 19. We're going over the plagues. And it's like I lost my train of thought for a second.
You're getting into what was written before time?
Yeah, what was written before time. You know, this is in Exodus. This is right after Genesis, correct? So this isn't new, okay? These things happen for a reason, okay? It's for us to learn. You saw what was going on in Egypt. We were servants. We were slaves. We were in captivity, just like how we are today. Now, I know some people are going to feel like, oh, no, we're not. You know, we're free to do what we want. No, you're free to sin. Right. That's what you're free to do. You're free to sin because that's what you were taught by a Christian pastor who was taught by some Edomite who probably molests children somewhere, okay? That's what you were taught. So now it's kind of like, not kind of, no, it is like, to have the perfect slave, you have to have a slave mindset, because you can bruise and batter a man, but if he still has that spirit in him, you know, that willpower to defy his oppressor, he's always going to look for a way to fight back.
Right.
Maybe, let's say, okay, the brother might not fight back himself, but let's say he has a son. He teaches his son to defy the oppressor. So now his son grows up and he teaches his kids, and so on and so forth. He has a strong family, protects his wives, his sisters, his family. But if you break his mind and you make him feel like, oh, you know, God loves everybody, it's okay to integrate. You can do drugs. It's fine. You know, you see how they're fighting to legalize weed now. You know, they're trying to do that everywhere. Actually, I just read something not that long ago. This is actually just after Sha'Carri Richardson, who is now, you know, she can't compete in the Olympics because she popped for marijuana. I believe it was, what is it called? For MMA fighters, they just passed something to where you can have recreational weed now. Yeah. So you can fight high. Yeah. You can fight high now. Pretty much. like that, like just
because it's not a performance enhancing drug.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. This is just after Sha'Carri Richardson. It's cool to sin. You know, just think of Vegas, Sin City. Okay. Miami. I don't even look, my Slovakia, there's a lot of crazy things going on in Miami, man. You know, like all over the place. You know, it's cool to defy the Most High. Okay. And as long as we continue to do that, we're going to continue to be oppressed. We're never going to get what we really want. We kind of went over this last class, not to get too off topic, about how we're always fighting for a crumb. You know, we always trying to find some reparations for our hard work. The fruits of our labor never really seem to benefit us. It benefits other nations. You know, you got, your typical Judites today who, you know, play basketball, you know, in the NFL, strong, fast. Okay, that's cool, you know, but what does that do for Israel? Okay, we have Native Indians who still live on reservations today. Okay, to this day in 2021, this is their land. Right. Why are they not getting the reparations? Okay, you still have Hispanics in cages right now. I just watched something not that long ago. They rounded up, I think it was like, I could be wrong, Slovakia. It was about like 40 something Issacharites who are your so-called Mexicans today at the border. And I'm like, I just keep thinking in my mind, how can you call Hispanics illegal immigrants? And this was their land.
Right.
Okay. The oppressor, Esau, Edomites, the white man, is the biggest illegal immigrant of them all. But it's like somebody coming into your house, killing your family, taking you out, and then when you try to come back into your house, they say, no, you're not welcome here. That's what happens with our people. Right. Okay. But you can get high though. You can do that. Now you can fight high. You know, because apparently that's cool now. You know, you could do all those things.
And that's that they manipulate that too. They use a little outrage just to be like, all right, well, y'all want to, we'll make weed smoke. You guys want us to do it? We'll make smoking weed legal. Then you guys can just smoke whenever you want to.
And Salaki, if I could, guess who was fighting for it the most? Us.
Right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We were the ones that was because we were so, like you said, we were so angry about what happened with Sha'Carri Richardson. Like, that's not fair. It's not a performance enhancing drug. She should be able to run. And okay, fine. MMA fighters can now fight because it's not a performance. It's like a performance enhancing drug. So there you go. But what does that do for Black people? What does that do for Hispanics? What does that do for natives? And it's like, what time is it?
We got 2 more plagues.
2 more plagues. Well, we'll cover the last 2 plagues. Where we at? You said Exodus. I think the next one's the book of Exodus, chapter 10, 12. Verse 21. Which one did you just do? You did
10 and 21.
Yeah, so we're on 10 and 21. Okay.
All right, the book of Exodus, chapter 10 and verse 21. And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. Gosh, man. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. And Pharaoh called unto Moses and said, go ye serve the Lord. Only let your flocks and your herbs be stayed. Let your little ones also go with you. And Moses said, thou must give us also sacrifices and burnt offerings, that we may sacrifice unto the Lord our God. Our cattle also shall go with us. There shall not an hoof be left behind, for thereof must we take to serve the Lord our God. And we know not with what we must serve the Lord until we come thither. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let them go. So, you know, I mean, it's a difference between just being in the dark and being in this dark.
It's like pitch black.
This is not a darkness we are fond of. This darkness was so dark it could be felt. You can feel the darkness. It was a thick darkness. You know what I mean? A thick darkness. It's like
a fog almost, but you can't like see.
Yeah, it's like a fog, but yeah, if you could put it in that type of terms.
Are we coming back into those times again?
We are in those times.
We're in the times right now.
Yeah, beginning the plague started already.
They already started.
That's exactly what's going on, brother. And that's why we're going over this class, is because we everybody talks about COVID, right? Yeah. This is just a prelude to what is to come, right? Because when COVID hit, I mean, it hit like a truck. Now you see Esau trying to find vaccinations and do certain things to kind of simmer it down a little bit. We kind of went over earlier about how they're trying to reopen up their businesses because they're losing money. All right, just to kind of give you the mentality of what Esau has. Like, Esau don't give a damn about his own people. Yeah. So he definitely don't give a damn about us, because it was hurting his pockets. Yeah. If you get what I mean. Like, if a few 100,000 Edomites have to die, for me to fill up my pockets, as long as I'm still rich, I still got my money, then so be it. Okay.
And the sacrifice.
Exactly. And that's exactly what's happening. They tried to open up Texas. They tried to open up the beaches. I think they are still open right now, if I'm not mistaken. In California, they tried to open up the beaches in Florida, right? Because they want money.
Right.
It's hurting the oppressor's pocket. Slaki, you got something?
And people are dying. Slaki. And just to give a little bit more insight of what was going on at that time period, with the thick darkness. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get into it in the Apocrypha on Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17 and verse 2. So it says, for when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they being shut up, in their houses the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night, lay there exiled from the eternal providence. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark vow of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with the strange apparitions. For neither might the corner of the of that held them keep them from fear, but noises as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenances. No power of the fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful. For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not. As for the illusions of art magic, they were put down, and their vaunting in wisdom was approved with disgrace. For they that promised to drive away terrors of troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. So they were seeing and hearing things. You know what I mean? Like they were hearing like it was saying, like sounds of like waves, you know what I mean, coming at them. Like it was
like people on drugs.
Right.
That's exactly what it
and
was.
they were in pretty much.
Like
so they were going through it.
You know, and if I could real quick, just kind of like elaborate on that, like okay. If it was just this plague alone, it doesn't sound that bad, right? Like nobody's physically getting hurt. Like, you know, it's like some crackhead tripping off. Whatever.
I think they were having heart attacks, right?
You know, I think they were. They got scared to the point that some of them were having heart attacks. But you got to think of like all the other plagues before that. So now they were already enduring the rivers that were turned into blood, the water supply being cut off, their cattle were dying, the boils, the flies, the locusts eating their vegetation, and now on top of that, you're in this like pitch black darkness. Like you can't see anything. You can't see the hand in front of you.
Right.
Like I could talk
thick darkness.
like you don't know what's going on. Like you're like in a black hole. You can't see anything, but you just imagine you're walking and you hear like a rattlesnake next to you or something, but there is no rattlesnake. But it feels like there's one there, so you think you're in imminent danger. Yeah. And the Lord is like messing with the Egyptians at this point, like he's in their mind.
Bugging them out.
But like bugging out is like like I feel like that's like the dressed up term for it. Like I don't even want to imagine what they were going through. Yeah. But
so pretty much it's like he started with their money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then he went to their he started with their water, their natural resources. Then he went to their money. Then he's going to their discomfort.
Firstborns.
Now he's taking their minds away. You know what I mean? Right. Now they're losing all consciousness of, you know what I mean? What's the word I'm looking for? I probably won't even get that word, but they're being in a state where they just like they're I wouldn't say sober. They're losing their minds. They're going insane. The Lord's taking their minds, and now it's, you know what I mean, it's time to take them.
What you got?
Physically.
And I've noticed a lot of these Edomites, they're starting to lose their mind right now.
Oh yeah.
You gotta be careful around them.
Thank you.
You just
gotta be careful around them because they're losing their minds.
Exactly, brother. You actually just brought up a very good point, and the water for that. What happened when Joe Biden came into office?
They swarmed the Capitol.
They swarmed the Capitol. Yeah. But why did they swarm the Capitol though? Like
they wanted Trump back in.
But why did they want Trump back in?
Because they felt like they're losing their power.
So they're losing their mind. But I want to like kind of get into this a little bit. The reason why they were so angry and upset is because, first of all, we kind of covered this last time. Trump is one of the few Edomites out there who he's not going to hide that he's a devil. He's going to show you exactly who he is, and that's why for a little while anyway, us as Israel, Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we hated Trump so much. But Edomites, they loved him. Make America great again. All that, what was it? The neo-Nazis, the white supremacist group, the Ku Klux Klan. They felt comfortable walking out in public. They didn't feel the need to hide who they were anymore, because Trump, him being at the top, was enough for them to feel like, oh yeah, they ain't gonna do nothing to us, because he believes in what we believe in. So they felt comfortable. But when he got out of office, so Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, we as a nation, we knew okay, that's just another devil and some heathen coming into office. We know that they can't do anything for us.
Right.
But to Edomites, when they were making all those promises to Blacks and Hispanics, we knew it was a lie, but they believed that. So it scared them. Like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me that I can't wear my white hood outside no more? I can't make America great again. Like their philosophy was being shattered in front of them, because now Trump was leaving. So now they didn't feel comfortable to show who they really were anymore. So that's why they felt the need to storm the Capitol. It's like, no, we won't allow this. Because you seen them, them Edomites. Look, I ain't never seen a white boy so athletic when he was trying to climb that fence to go storm into that Capitol. I mean, they were organized as hell. They had the Edomite with what he had, what did he have on his head?
Oh, yeah, those horns.
Yeah, the horns and stuff. They were ready.
Like a Viking.
Yeah, some Viking. They were ready, and it looked so outrageous. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? But it's the spirit behind it. They were losing their minds.
Right. And
if we could, real quick, for the sake of time, we'll get into the very last plague, and then I have a precept, Romans 12:2 after that, but we'll cover the last plague. It'll be in Exodus chapter 12, verse, I believe it's 29. Yes. The book of Exodus chapter 12, verse 29.
Okay. And if I may too, you see it with the people who, you just had that one dude who got, arrested at his own house because he was spitting out a whole bunch of racial terms to a Hamite, which he was calling a Hamite a whole bunch of different things. And you had it with the guy who was threatening the little black man with autism. They're literally losing their minds back and forth now, and you can see their mental state is not stable anymore. But it's you said 29 verse 29.
Yes. Actually, yeah, if you could read it, Baba Kashad.
This is Exodus 12:29.
Yep.
And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle.
So you can stop right there, brother. That's good. So kind of what you were getting at earlier about, now we just went through all these plagues, the flies, the locusts, the cutting off of the water supply, the food, the vegetation, the boils, and the pitch black darkness, the hallucinations, the losing your sanity. And now here comes the death.
Right.
Now the Lord's like, okay, now that I've broken your mind and your spirit, I'm going to take it just one more step further. Now you got to imagine Pharaoh, as prideful as he was, now it wasn't just the firstborn of all the Egyptians, just the civilians.
Yeah.
It was his firstborn also.
Yeah. Come.
They all died.
Right.
Each and every single one
of
of them.
the cattle too.
Yeah, all of it, the beasts, all of them throughout the land. Death.
So that was the heathens.
That was the heathens.
People too.
Yes, this is Egypt. All the Egyptians. Yep. Everything, all the Egyptians, all the cattle that they owned, all firstborn, dead.
Yeah.
But why though? Because the Most High, so the reason why was because Moses was sent to get us up out of Egypt. Now he told Pharaoh to let us go, let the people go.
Yeah.
But Pharaoh, this is Pharaoh we're talking about right now, right? So you got to imagine at this time period, Pharaoh in his mind is the most powerful thing on the planet. He is extremely prideful. He thinks that he's better than everybody, just like you're a person today. What you got, brother?
He's God in his own mind.
Exactly.
He thinks he's pretty much God.
Exactly. That like a lot of Egyptians, they believe so. They believe that they were gods in a physical form. So when Moses approached him and warned him what was going to happen if you don't let the people go, it says even in here, the Lord of the Hebrews. Now to Pharaoh, this is like, you got to think of like think of how the white man views us today. We're just, I don't even want to repeat some of the things that like they say about us, but you get where I'm going with it. They think very lowly.
The worst things you can think about.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
Yeah, they think that we're very lowly, and they are above us. Okay, yeah. So to Pharaoh to hear like, wait a minute, like the Lord of the Hebrews, like that's like me coming out today and saying, yeah, the Lord of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the people who are oppressed. People don't want to hear that. Like, man, like y'all ain't nobody. So Pharaoh, like, I'm not worried about you, but then what happened? The plague started hitting. And at first, Pharaoh just straight up defied it. He's like, nah, like, I don't believe in none of this stuff. But then, as we read earlier, he slowly started giving recognition unto the Most High. First, it was his magicians, his servants. They were looking to him like, hey, whoever this God is, he's not playing. Okay, you should probably stop. But as prideful as Pharaoh was, he just kept, it just kept hardening every single time. Like, no, like I'm Pharaoh, if I want these people to stay, that's what's going to happen. I don't care about their God. But then what happened was his mind slowly started breaking down because he saw what was happening, not just to him, but to his people and his nation. And then he started, before he wouldn't even recognize the Most High, then he started going to Moses and saying, hey, like tell your God to chill, like chill out. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll do it. I'll let them go. Mm-hmm. Which he didn't. He lied multiple times. And when he didn't, his heart hardened again and again and again. And the Most High was like, okay, fine. You don't want to let my people go. Here's the next plague. Here's the next plague. Here's the next plague. Right now, Salaki, if I could, the Esau today, we're in captivity. It like not maybe not in a physical form, like I'm not in shackles or anything right now, but in a spiritual sense, we're in captivity as a nation because the drugs, the manipulation, the violence, the gang violence, the oppression that media, all that stuff, right? So the Lord, like I said, like a delicate surgeon, he's gonna slowly break down this nation, just like how he did with Egypt. And if I could just touch on something real quick before we close the class, the title of the class is Plagues and Separation. The reason why I said separation, if you could you give me Romans 12:2, Baba Kasha? I greatly appreciate it. Because our people need to understand, first and foremost, what the Most High could do for us. But if you so choose to still side with America, with these heathens, with Esau's nation, I pray you understand what's about to happen to you. It's going to be Romans 12:2.
This is the book of Romans 12:2. Mm-hmm. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Right.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
There you go. Is that it on that? Okay, so why are we going over this? Because you choose to side with the world, you're going to die with the world. Okay, I'm just going to put that out as blatantly as I possibly can right now. Okay, like we brought up earlier, like with COVID and things like that. There are Blacks and Hispanics and Natives who died from COVID, right? But why though? This was never meant for us. Okay, not in a sense of us to suffer from it, but because we have so many of our people who choose to side with America. Well, guess what? The Most High is a jealous power. Salakia, the jealous power. So if you choose to still be disobedient, fine. What you got, brother?
They want to choose the world side.
Exactly.
They want to be too worldly.
Exactly. They don't want to hearken onto the words of the Most High. Okay. So for those who see brothers out there during camp, you see our classes and you decide, okay, well, I don't really want to rock with them. Well, first and foremost, we love our people. Okay. Right. We love our people so much that I'm going to tell you to get off drugs to your face. Right. Your physical family, they'll, we still love you. No, love is an action. I'm going to tell you to get off drugs. Why? Because I don't want to see you die. If you're a brother that might be drinking a little bit too much, I'm going to tell you to put down the bottle. Right. That's what I'm going to tell you to do. Why? Because I love my brothers. I love my sisters. I don't want my sisters to go out here and spread their legs for every single man out there and make a whore out of themselves, because they're going to be damaged inside. And then guess what? You didn't having sex with so many men out there that you don't even know who the baby daddy is, and now you're a single mother. I don't want to see that happen to our people. Not just me. I don't want to talk about just me. Salakia, the brother next to me, all the brothers and sisters in the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana, we genuinely love our people. And we know that the only way that we can really love our people is to obey the Most High, because he tells you how to do it. And when you follow it, everything just kind of falls into place. Right. But if you want to sit here and side with America, okay, you're going to die with America. That's what's going to happen to you. So, you got anything before we close the class?
Yeah, just real brief. Like what you're saying is so heavy. You know what I mean? It's at that time period right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure a lot of people had to die with Egypt too, because they wanted to we died trying to still follow Egypt, even when we were free from that captivity. We wanted to go back, and we had to die for it because of that lust of wanting to go back into, it just seems like it's easier to not follow the Most High. Like, we got to get out of that mindset, because at this time period right now, there's a new Egypt. And it's a new set of plagues, and it's a new breakdown of a nation. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is literally deteriorating this nation as we speak. You know what I mean? If I can get into Revelations 18:8 really quick. Yeah, go ahead. You know what I mean? It says in Revelations 18:8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. So we're seeing the plagues. We're seeing the famine is coming. You know what I mean? I just sent a video to Itazam last night about, you know what I mean, there's a big famine that's on its way as we speak. Food is being destroyed purposely, and it's being destroyed because it just can't make it to its destination. It's rotting. And we got people that don't want the food to make it, because they want to see our nation just as weak as their nations are. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be dealing with a big famine that's coming pretty soon. Then comes the death and mourning, which we're already seeing as we speak right now. You know what I mean? You've seen it since the 4th of July weekend. It's been plenty of death and mourning. You know what I'm saying? People are dying left and right. People are killing left and right. It's about time to just realize what state we're in, realize that this is how it was in the days of Egypt, and realize that we have to follow the Most High in order to escape that death. And if you feel like that smoking weed is that hard to get rid of, sleeping with whores is that hard to get rid of, smoking cigarettes and, you know what I mean, eating crab, shrimp, and lobster, pork, is that hard to get rid of, then you might as well just start, you know what I mean, figuring out what you want on your tombstone, because you will have to die with these heathens. You know what I mean? So let's get out of that stage of feeling like, well, we want to be half in and half out. No, you want to jump all the way in it at this time period now. There's too many signs. It's too many signs showing that we are in those days. Right. We're in those days. And these are the things that the Lord is going to send during the time period of those days, and we're seeing it today. So hop up out of that ignorant mindset, thinking that you still got time. You don't. Get into it now. Get into it right now. Don't sit over there and wait to try to get right. No, do it now. That's all I got.
Yeah. And with that, I just want to say the water to everybody that tuned in, and the water brother for coming by. And with that, Majim, just me and the brother up here.
Yasharala.
All right, Madim upon Yaha Kodam, which means to rise and face the east. We'll do like the first one. We're gonna do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak with Ka, Taba'ah, Ratzaka, Ayah, Aisha, Baratza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashamayim, Batananaw, Hakam, Ko, Yawam, Masalaknaw, Kabawatnaw, Kasalaknaw, Kabawathyanaw, Wala'ah, Tabayanaw, Banasaiwan, Abo, Abashaynaw, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wathapara, La'olumyum,
Amen. The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
We're going to be doing Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Haryam, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Azoya, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Baratza, Al-Yatan, Lamawat, Wagolka, Nawam, Shemarka, Ana, Nawam, Wala'ah, Yasham, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh,
Salaki.
Tazolka,
Ayad,
Yamyamka,
Yawam, Yashamash.
Salaki. Somebody. That's fine. La'ah, Yakaka, Bayarath, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makol, Rai, Shamar, Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Aza'avka, Maita, Wa'ai, Awalam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. All right, Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Amiyah, Laka,
Lakarash,
Lashakwat, Kaya, Hana,
Yebika,
Yebika,
Yama,
Haman,
Yawam, Ra'ash,
Al,
Amaka, Ya'imwa,
Sawada, Waita,
Yaitazawa,
Al,
Kizapawanyika,
Marwa,
Onakakinum, Magoya,
Wala'ah, Yazakar,
Shum,
Yasharala,
Awada,
Kaya,
Naitazawa,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Al-Yaka,
Baryath, Yakarathwa, Aliyah, Adawam, Wa, Yashamai, Alayum, Mawa'aba, Wagarium, Gabal, Ma'ayam, Salakia. Y-M-A-1.
Y-M-A-1.
Y-M-A-Lak.
Y-M-A-Lak.
Palashath.
Palashath.
Am Yeshabia.
Am Yeshabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gum. Ashawar.
Nalawat.
Nalawat. Iman. Hayawa. Zarawat. Labunya. Lawat. Salah. Aisha. Laham. Kamudyan. Hasaya. Sara'ah. Hayawa. Salakia. Skip one. Kayabian. Banakal. Kayashwan. Nishamadwa. Bayan. Dara. Hayawa. Daman. La'ah. Dama. Shaitamwa. Nada. Yamawa. Kairab. Wakaza'aba. Wakazabak. Wakatazal. Manai. Call. Nasiyakamwa. Ashar. Amarwa. Nayasha. Lanawa. Af. Nawath. Alahayim. Shaitamwa. Gogala. Kwash. Lapanya. Lakawat. Ka'ash. Thaba'ira. Ya'ira. Wa. Kalahaba. Dalahat. Haryam. Kun. Daradatma. Masa'irika. Wasab. Wapafka. Layum. Malahat. Panyaham. Walawan. Waya. Bakwashwa. Shamka. Yahawa. Yabashwa. Waya. Bahawa. Adiyai. Waya. Parwa. Waya. Abadwa. Waya. Daiwa. Kaya. Atta. Shamka. Yahawa. Abadka. Alawam. Call. Haratza. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
And hold not thy peace.
And be not still. O God. For lo. Thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee. Have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted. Against thy hidden ones. They have said. Come. And let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Israel. Maybe no more remembrance. For they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against you. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. And of Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. A sword also was joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red. And like Zaid. Yea. All their princes as Zabah. And as Almunah. Who said, let us take to ourselves. The houses of God in possession. Oh my God. Make them like a wheel. As a stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth a wood. And as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them. With thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Lord. Let them be confounded. And troubled. Forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou, whose name alone is Yahweh. Art the most high. Over all the earth. Stop right here.
Slack it. Yeah, we'll do it. All right, we're going to gird up thy loins and salute the Torah. Slack it. Stop right here.
That's good.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barak Yah. So Elijah, and then you're going to come off with your right foot. So Elijah Shabbat. Elijah. Put your hand. And you're going to go Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, Yah. Sorry.
Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Barak, yeah. Water for tuning in, Israel.
Shalom, Israel.